the National Football League. Today, the San Francisco 49ers against the Chicago Bears.
It is wet, it is chilly, and it is windy at Soldier Field in Chicago. And the fans who are here are bundled up. And the winds at 25 are gusting to more. It is rain, and I think the Chicago Bears probably like this weather because they've won 2 in a row in the rain. Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with my partner, Wayne Walker. The question for the 49ers, Wayne, how will they react and respond to last week's shocking loss?
It's a logical question, Dick. A lot of times a last-second loss like that can take the heart out of a team. Bill Walsh said he observed his team in practice this week and really feels that they put it behind him. He feels the key today for the 49ers is to play intimidating defense. When they have done that, it has carried over to the offense, and they have dominated teams throughout the season.
Well, the Bears have always had defense as their trademark, and this year they've been moving the ball, but they haven't been able to score that many points. How come?
No, they really have. They've been their own worst enemy. They have had turnovers, and they've had them in crucial situations. Mike Ditka says they have hurt themselves more than the other teams have hurt them. Earlier in the season, this was a very unsettled Bear team. They were playing musical chairs with their quarterbacks. There was friction between the coach and the team, but that is all in the past, and right now the Bears are playing their best football of the year. Let's go to Dick Stockton now and get it underway.
And there you're looking at Bob Thomas, who will be kicking off for the Chicago Bears. The San Francisco 49ers in white have won the toss and have elected to receive. Deep for the 49ers on the right is Bill Ring. On the left is Dana McLemore. So the 49ers, who had their road winning streak, ended at 8 last week at Atlanta, try to start a new one. McLemore leading the team in both punt and kickoff return. Thomas's kick will be end over end and short, and it's taken by McLemore inside the 10-yard line. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 27 where he fumbled it there. David Simmons makes the tackle. So let's set up now the 49ers offense for you. Joe Montana, the quarterback, now the top-rated passer all time. Wendell Tyler and Roger Craig, the running backs. Dwight Clark, the leading receiver, and Freddie Solomon, who's been hampered with a thigh injury, is back as a starter. Paris, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, and Farnhorst, experienced with the exception of Paris, who's come on. Russ Francis, the tight end. They're at the 26, 1st and 10. Best completion percentage in the NFC. For Montana, Roger Craig in motion. And Wendell Tyler gets hammered as he stops short of the 30-yard line by Otis Wilson, the left linebacker. Let's check the Chicago Bears on defense for you. And they like to play the 4-3. They've had some injuries, and they line up with Hartenstein and Hampton at the ends. Tyrone Keys and Steve McMichael at the tackles. The linebackers, Wilson, who made the stop, Campbell outside, and very fine middle linebacker in Mike Singletary, Richardson, Frazier, Bell, and Durson. 2 rookies and 2 third-year players in the secondary. It'll be 2nd and 7 at the 29. Montana to put it up for the first time. He's got Tyler, who stopped at the 35. Shy of a first down. Gary Campbell, the linebacker, makes the tackle. So it'll be 3rd and less than a yard for the 49ers.
Dick, you worry in a day like this when you're a passing team like the 49ers, will the weather bother you? But keep in mind they are a ball control passing offense. That is an indication right there. Those are just long handoffs for the 49ers.
And as Mike Ditka told us yesterday, he says 49ers may pass a lot, but they're all possession-type passes. Many of them are. 3rd and 1, 3 tight ends. So Eason Ramson and Earl Cooper join Russ Francis. Here's Roger Craig, and he stops. He doesn't make it. Penalty markers fly, however, as Craig is tackled at the 35 by Mike Singletary, the middle linebacker who leads the Bears in tackles. The referee is Pat Haggerty, and holding against the 49ers. And so the Bears have a decision, either 4th down and 1 for the 49ers or 3rd down and more yardage.
Well, the Bears will definitely take the play if they stop them short of the 1st down and get their defense off the field.
Holding. Number 80. Offense. Decline. 4th down.
So it is 4th down. And now Mike Ditka, who's in his 2nd year and resembling the late George Halas in many ways, including roaming the sidelines and being very involved in the game, will see his team get the ball first. Tom Morris will be punting for the 49ers. He's coming off superb back-to-back games, the best 2 of the season, averaging almost 46 yards per kick during this stretch. And deep, number 85, Dennis McKinnon, a very fine, good-looking free agent rookie who they like very much as a pass receiver. Morris to punt at the 20. Almost blocked. And the kick is going to bounce at the 33-yard line and drop dead at the 36, where it's down there by Dana McLemore. So no return following the 30-yard punt by Tom Morris. So the Chicago Bears go on offense in the opening minutes. Jim McMahon, the NFC Rookie of the Year on offense, is the quarterback. The great Walter Payton and Matsui are the running backs. Willie Gault and Dennis McKinnon, the wide receivers. Emery Moorhead, the tight end. Rookie Jim Covert, the veteran Noah Jackson joined Jay Hilgenberg, Kurt Becker, and Andy Frederick up front. Two tight ends in there, Emery Moorhead and Jay Saldy, number 81 now. And in motion comes Moorhead. And a screen pass to McKinnon, the rookie. Almost broke a tackle and just about did, and picks up almost 9 yards on the play. Tim Collier, the cornerback, makes the tackle with help from Willie Harper. Let's check out the 49ers defense right now. Their base defense, Pillars, Kugler, and Board. Of course, Fred Dean comes in as much as they want, and they like him in there. Harper, Ellison, Reynolds, and Turner are the linebackers. And Tim Collier starting at cornerback, coming off the injury list. Ronnie Lott moving from left corner to strong safety. Eric Wright at right cornerback, Dwight Hicks the free safety.
Lott playing strong safety for the first time in his career this afternoon. He didn't even play it in college, with a free safety in college.
Matsui has come in, and he's playing the wing back and in motion right now with Walter Payton carrying. And Payton carries up to the 47-yard line. It'll be good enough for a first down for the Chicago Bears. So our first look at Walter Payton, who's had fluid on the knee, only practiced a little bit last week, a little more this week. And he went over 1,000 yards against Tampa Bay for the 7th time in his career, and only the great Jimmy Brown and Franco Harris achieved that.
And he's going to be by that before his career is over. You can bet on it.
Coming into the game, he needs 517 yards to pass Harris and over 1,000 for Jim Brown's mark. First and 10 at the 49 now. Play action for McMahon, and he's going to go up top, and here's Willie Gault. Tim Collier covering on Willie Gault, who is passed up the Olympic high hurdles, and in fact wanted to play both pro and compete in the Olympics. You see what he has done in the first 6 games and the last 6 games, and he has won with great speed.
Ball was right there for him too, Dick. He could have come up with that ball very easily. Play action for the Bears. Jack Reynolds told us yesterday at the 49ers practice that the Bears are the best play action team in the National Football League. McMahon, he said, is almost a magician with the ball in the backfield.
Of course, the Bears are very much aware of Bill Walsh's inclination to go down the list of plays to start a game. Brian Bashnagel is in there, and Matsui carries for the first time and gets past midfield. It'll be 3rd down and about 8 for the Bears. Lawrence Pillars, the left end, makes the tackle. A look at Matsui, who had the best day of his 4-year career, gaining 112 against Tampa Bay last week, and he really has done a good job in tandem with Payton.
He's an excellent blocker, and that's what they used him for most of the time, as a lead blocker for Walter Payton. But he got his own 100 yards last week against Tampa Bay, and when he was approaching that 100-yard mark last week, Walter Payton asked to come back in the game so he could block for him when he went over the century mark.
Says a lot about Payton. Richard Blackmore, the nickel, back in there now for the Niners. 3rd and 7 at the 49. Out of the shotgun, McMahon. He can run it. Ron Ferrari's chasing him. First down to the 30. And McMahon goes out of bounds inside the 20. A 34-yard scamper by Jim McMahon, who adds that dimension to the Bears' offense.
Is there any question here why the 49ers call Jim McMahon a young Joe Montana? Nothing there. He pulls it down and then turns a bad play into a good one with great speed. Ron Ferrari, number 54, chasing him, has excellent speed. And McMahon just outlegs him for the sideline. Fred Dean working against a rookie, Jim Covert, over there, 74. That could be critical for the Bears. Covert won that battle.
McMahon has come in the game averaging nearly 6.5 yards per carry. His longest run before that was 20 yards. So it's 1st and 10 for the Bears at the San Francisco 17. And Payton tests the middle of the line and gets to the 13-yard line where Keena Turner makes the tackle. Walter Payton, 29 years old. He's durable and strong. He bench presses nearly 400 pounds. He says he's better shape now than he was as a rookie, but not the best shape of his career.
His teammates really like him. Suey, talking to him yesterday, said he's been my inspiration in the years I've been here. He's not selfish. He's a great blocker, and he's taught me a lot. And Jack Reynolds said about him, I worry every time he touches the football.
2nd down and 7 at the 14. Jay Saldy lines up on the left side. Suey in motion. Payton turns the corner, and Walter Payton is out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Once again, Keena Turner makes the tackle, so it's a homecoming of sorts for Keena Turner, the right outside linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers in his 4th year from Purdue. He attended high school here in Chicago. In fact, the same high school attended by the great Dick Butkus, famous linebacker of the Bears.
People around here in Chicago area be very proud of Keena Turner, too, because he has developed into one of the fine outside linebackers in the National Football League. 2nd team All-Pro last year, and Jack Reynolds says he has the ability to be All-Pro every year.
A 3rd and 5 for the Bears at the 12. McMahon going for Marjoram, and he did not have control. He's out of bounds. Tim Collier was with him all the way. The ball got to Marjoram, but he did not have control. Out of bounds in the end zone, so it'll be 4th down.
Marjoram, the 3rd-year receiver from Stanford, right here working against Tim Collier. The ball is right on the money by McMahon, but you have to have control and have both feet down. Both feet down, but you can see he was bobbling it in the end zone.
So on 4th down, Brian Baschnagel will hold for Bob Thomas, the most accurate field goal kicker in Bear history. A 29-yard attempt. 6 for 6 inside 30 yards for Bob Thomas this year. And he's still perfect. 29-yard field goal by Bob Thomas, and the Chicago Bears have taken the lead. The big play was Jim McMahon's 34-yard scamper. 10 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter. We're back here at Soldier Field, Chicago. The Bears lead 3-0, and that was their drive after stopping the 49ers. And Bob Thomas, who is now 10 for 18 in the field goal department, will kick off for the Bears. Dana McLemore and Bill Ring are back as they were for the opening kickoff for San Francisco. McLemore's on the left. Similar kick to the opening kickoff, and McLemore at the 10. And Dana McLemore has wide open field and brings it out past the 40-yard line. A terrific return by McLemore. Dan Raines makes the tackle. So we have more fine NFL action coming up today on CBS. Most of you will see the Green Bay Packers against the Atlanta Falcons, who pulled out that miraculous game against the Niners last week. Green Bay, of course, battling in the NFC Central Division. Some of you will see the New York Giants against the Los Angeles Raiders, who right now have the best record in the AFC. 1st and 10 at the 40. That was the longest kickoff return all year for Dana McLemore. Play action on 1st down. And Dwight Clark, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Mike Singletary and fumbled. The Bears recover. Campbell. Penalty flags are down. And Wayne, it looked like the pass was between the deep man Clark and the short man Wendell Tyler.
Going for Dwight Clark deep, and I think Montana just underthrew that ball. Clark had a step or two on the cornerback over there.
We have an illegal forward pass after the completion.
It was after the interception, an illegal forward pass by Mike Singletary. But the interception will count. It was after the play.
Illegal forward pass after the completion. 1st down.
10th interception of the year by Montana here.
Play action. Wendell Tyler out of the backfield. He's covered by Singletary. Dwight Clark streaking down the sideline. The throw is deep. Did the wind have Something to do with that it may have, because it's blowing right into Joe Montana's face. Singletary makes a fine interception, and Gary Campbell's come up with the ball for the Bears, and they're in business.
Well, you got to be hardy to come to Soldier Field today with the wind and the rain, although the wind seems to have died down just a slight bit, maybe down to 25 miles an hour. On the turnover, the Bears have it 1st and 10 on their 25. Walter Payton with Suey blocking. And Tina Turner and Dwight Hicks forcing on the play, and not much for Walter Payton. Well, one of the reasons why the Bears have not scored as much this year has been the turnovers versus the takeaway.
It's not so important, Dick, you know, that plus and minus thing. The real important sequence in that graphic right there is where the turnarounds happen. If it's deep in your territory and you're going in to score, that's worth double value. And that's been the Bears' problem.
Jim McMahon told us that a lot of those interceptions occurred after drop passes that would have been touchdowns. Those don't show up in the statistics. 2nd down and 12 at the 23. There was a loss, and on a draw play, here's Matsui wide open. Matsui the 1st down to the 45 and ridden out of bounds by Ronnie Lott and Tim Collier. And wide open right side of the line, and a 23-yard pickup by Matsui.
And a wipeout job over on the right side by the tackle Andy Frederick and the guard Kurt Becker. Suey pops this outside. Last week against Tampa Bay, he had the longest run from scrimmage of his career, 39 yards, and this one's close to it.
So the Bears so far have had the big gain on the ground. McMahon 34 yards on the drive, resulting in a field goal. Matsui on this 23-yard run. 1st and 10 at the 46. 8:44 to go in the 1st quarter. In motion, Dennis McKinnon. And pitch back from Suey to McMahon. And he'll have to go to Walter Payton. Walter Payton has a 1st down for the Bears into 49er territory at the 42-yard line. Tina Turner makes the stop. So a little razzle-dazzle from Mike Ditka, who is calling the plays in this game.
That's a flea flicker right here, and they're sending Willie Galt deep on Tim Collier. Collier had it covered well. The flip back here now to McMahon. He looks downfield, wants Galt. He's covered. And you said he has to go to Walter Payton. Dick, not a bad guy to have to go to. Watch him go into his prance act right here.
Payton and Suey are 1-2 in receiving for the Chicago Bears this year. And Payton can throw, he can catch, he can block, and of course we know he can run. 1st and 10 at the 42. Matsui inside the 40-yard line, a pickup of about 3 yards on the play. Chicago Bears, last time they made the playoffs was 1979. They're 5th in the NFL in offense.
Jack Reynolds, the inside linebacker, along with Ricky Ellison. He's cut down by the guard. He gets back over and gets an arm on the tackle. Good job that time by Moorhead, the tight end of the Bears, who came down and trapped inside and actually ended up taking number 50 Ellison out of the play.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 now. Bears at the San Francisco 38. Under 8 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Fred Dean is in the ball game, number 74. McMahon gets rid of it in a hurry. And he's got Willie Galt complete. At the 35-yard line, Eric Wright makes the stop. It'll be 3rd and short yardage. Jim McMahon out of Brigham Young University, #1 draft choice last year. Started the first 6 games this year, but was relieved in 4 of those games. Then was benched for a couple, and now, as Mike Ditka says, he's the quarterback of the future here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence in himself. He said that they come from a passing game in BYU. He'd seen a lot of defenses, so he didn't have any trouble reading coverages. He said it was the athletes that were playing the coverages up here in the National Football League that bothered him the most, because they were so much better than the college people he played against.
And you can tell by the graphic, he forced the ball a lot early this year, and now he's going to call a timeout. He didn't like what he saw, so on 3rd and 2 at the 35 and 7:07 remaining in the 1st quarter here in Chicago, the Bears have called a timeout. They lead it 3-0. 7:07 remaining in the 1st quarter. Bears lead 3-0 and now face a 3rd and 2 on the 49er 35-yard line. And it's going to be Matsui stopped And he hit a brick wall at the 35-yard line, stopped cold by Ronnie Lott.
Excellent job that time by Lott, as we said, making a start at strong safety. Strong safety turns out to be an extra linebacker against the running game. Carlton Williamson is usually in there for the 49ers. He's excellent at it. That time, Lott read the tight end's block and was up immediately.
So it's 4th down, and the fans here wanted the Bears to go for it on 4th and 3. Instead, Bob Parsons will be punting for the Chicago Bears. Veteran from Penn State. 12th year. Has also played tight end. Dana McLemore is deep. He's got the lowest gross punting average in the NFC, just over 37 yards per kick. He's at midfield. And going for the sidelines. Penalty marker, no penalty marker down, and the ball is into the end zone for a touchback, and the Bears just missed downing that ball at the 1 or 2. So we'll take a timeout. 6:07 remaining in the first quarter, and a rainy day in Chicago. We're back at Soldier Field in Chicago. Mike Ditka watching from the sidelines, who is an outstanding tight end. 1st and 10 for the 49ers at the 20, and an audible being called by Joe Montana. Roger Craig off the right side, gets nothing. Stopped at the 20-yard line by Dan Hampton, number 99. Because of injuries, the Bears have only one man starting all year, and that was Mike Hartenstein, the left end. Hampton has been to the Pro Bowl in 2 different positions. He returned from arthroscopic knee surgery last week in the right end spot.
He was only out 23 days. 23 days after surgery. He came back and played every snap last week against Tampa Bay.
Former number 1 draft pick. 2nd down and 10 at the 20. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Russ Francis in motion for San Francisco. Play action. And Mike Wilson down the sidelines. Run out of bounds. Shy of a first down by a couple of yards. Todd Bell making the stop. So Montana hitting Mike Wilson, who's gotten better and better and seeing more playing time. And he's really had 4 productive games in a row.
He did. We asked him how he's going to feel about not starting this one with Freddie Solomon back, and he said, that's okay with me. He said they have 8 or 9 plays in there for me, and that must have been one of them.
He's having his best year in his 3rd season, formerly with the Cowboys, number 85. And it's 3rd and 2 at the 28 for the 49ers. 3-0, the Bears lead. Montana has opening. He's going to run for the first down. And out of bounds at the 34-yard line, chased by Mike Richardson. So like McMahon, we have a quarterback who's resourceful and can run in Joe Montana.
It's so important when you're playing against the 49ers to get your defensive ends upfield and keep him outside and keep him contained in the pocket. That time Mike Hartenstein over on the right-hand side lost his containment. He was down inside. You see that. Montana spotted it, rolled out that way, and tucked it under and got the first down.
That is the first down of the ball game for the 49ers. It comes with 5:15 remaining in the first quarter. Jim Osborne is now the left tackle, number 68. And on a play-action pass, receivers are covered. And Montana goes to Wendell Tyler, who drops the ball. They'll call it an incompleted pass. Todd Bell, who is right behind Singletary and tackles on the Chicago Bears out of Ohio State, made a vicious hit on Wendell Tyler.
Once again, watch a containment breakdown over on the right side here. Montana with nothing down the middle, gets over here, gets a second look. Watch the hit by the strong safety Bell. Number 25, it brings Tyler off the ball.
The kind of hit that you remember when you go into the secondary again. Todd Bell lives up to the reputation of a lot of those Ohio State players, linebackers, and defensive backs. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Jeff Moore is in now at running back. Play action, Montana. Chase back to the 20 and throws an incompleted pass intended for Roger Craig. And terrific pressure and pursuit by the Bears.
That time Hartenstein stayed outside. Montana wanted to go right again and had to duck up the middle. Looked like he was in trouble. He's just so nimble. He got away and made some kind of play. I've avoided a loss.
There's Otis Wilson, who's the left side linebacker and the big play performer for the Chicago Bears. Comes out of the ball game. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Brian Baschnagel knows where to stand on the Bears sideline. Walt Williams and Terry Schmidt are in. This is the 46th defense the Bears have. 6 defensive backs. 3rd down and 10. Mike Wilson churning for the first down and has it. At the 46-yard line, Mike Singletary makes the play. So once again, Mike Wilson, dependable receiver, on 3rd and 10, gives the 49ers a first down near midfield.
Well, he's very good at those patterns run under the linebacker because he has the size to do that. In fact, the pass that Ronaldo Nehemiah caught last week where he took that big hit was a play that was really designed for Mike Wilson. He's got the strength and the size to run those short patterns underneath.
He caught 2 passes already in this game, 4 against Atlanta, the best of any wide receiver against the Falcons. 1st and 10 at the 45. Solomon is back in, number 88. Roger Craig. And Craig stops short of midfield, but picks up nearly 4 yards. Mike Singletary on the tackle. Right now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Dick, the Saints with 4th and inches gamble against Minnesota here, and it turns out all right for them. It is Wayne Wilson up over the top for the touchdown, and the Saints, who are trying to break that losing streak, lead by 4. Back to Dick.
All right, Brent, thank you. And, of course, the Saints had a chance to move into a 3-way tie for first in the NFC West, but they lost to the Jets on Monday, and they're very much in the battle. 2nd down and 5 at midfield for San Francisco with 4:09 remaining in the first quarter. Solomon is in motion. Montana goes to Tyler. First down at the San Francisco or at the Bears 41. Gary Campbell makes the tackle. So Wendell Tyler, who's the 3rd leading receiver, makes a fine catch for San Francisco.
Montana originally wanted to go to Dwight Clark over the middle on this one, but number 50 Singletary, watch him. He'll stop Clark right in the middle. There's the hit. Montana makes the adjustment and goes to a wide open Wendell Tyler.
Nearly 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter as Jeff Moore, number 25, replaces Tyler. 1st and 10 at the 41 of the Bears. Passing play, and Montana going deep for Freddie Solomon. And it's broken up. Dave Duerson, the free safety, and Todd Bell, the strong safety, were both there to break up the big play attempt to Freddie Solomon.
49ers really don't go downfield that much unless they go to this man, number 88. He's their quickest, working against Frazier, the cornerback, and Duerson, number 22, almost came up with the interception, playing an excellent center field.
Chicago Bears, as we said, with 2 rookies, Duerson and Mike Richardson, and 2 third-year players in Bell and Leslie Frazier. Gary Fensick, their veteran free safety, of course, has been out with a groin injury.
Duerson, the rookie from Notre Dame, was a 4-year starter for the Irish.
So it's 2nd and 10 now at the 40. Ronaldo Nehemiah is in the game, number 83. Wilson in motion. Montana going to a wide open Mike Wilson. And Wilson is hit at the 33-yard line by Mike Richardson. It'll be 3rd and short now for the 49ers. And whatever pattern that was, Mike Wilson was wide open on the right side.
Well, it's just a matter of the 49ers showing so many different formations and getting people where they want them uncovered. Mike Ditka said when he charted the Niners, they came up with 140 formations. Here it is right here. Wilson in motion out there. Solomon down deep. Clark to the inside. That took people with him. And Wilson was right open out on the sideline.
Montana now is 5 for 9 for 42 yards. It's 3rd and 3 at the 33. Montana up to Roger Craig. First down. And Singletary throws him out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And so the 49ers, going a lot to the right side of the field on swing passes, particularly have a 1st and 10 at the Bear 25. They trailed the Chicagoans 3-0. 2:28 to go in the first quarter.
And that's really asking a lot out of a middle linebacker. Singletary that time had to stay in there and react to the play action and then still cover the back out in the flat. It's almost an impossible job.
Bill Walsh in his first return to Soldier Field since 1972. It's been a long time since he's been here. 1st and 10 out to 25. Wilson in motion. Montana almost slipped. Completes the pass on the 15 to Roger Craig. And it'll be close to a first down. It all depends on forward motion. Craig may be very close to a first down. If not, it'll be 3rd and inches. Todd Bell makes the tackle on Craig, the rookie. Wind gusting from Lake Michigan on a wet afternoon in Chicago. You saw the Saints touchdown. Washington leading Philadelphia. No score in Tampa Bay. 2nd down and 1. Wendell Tyler, first down inside the 15. Mike Singletary again makes the tackle. Wendell Tyler leading rushing, averaging over 5 yards a carry and 3 touchdowns. And of course, he was acquired from the Los Angeles Rams in a deal because the one thing the 49ers lacked, even in their title year 2 years ago, was the real running back threat.
And that's why you see him using so much play action passing today. You know that the Bears have to respect Wendell Tyler's running. Montana has used the play action almost exclusively here this afternoon.
First down and 10 at the 13. 1:10 to go in the first quarter. Dwight Clark. Pressure on Montana, and Jim Osborne chases him out of bounds after Steve McMichael put some pressure on Joe Montana. Gets the ball into the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9. And now they mark it back at the 12-yard line. So actually it was a gain of only a yard. Call it 2nd and 9 at the 12. No score, 2nd quarter. In New England, New York Jets. Cleveland over Baltimore 14-3. Browns chasing the Steelers now, who have lost 2 in a row. 2nd and 9 at the 12. And there is Wendell Tyler on the right side, who's hit inside the 10-yard line by Dave Duerson. And one thing the Bears are doing, they're hitting crisply out there. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 for the 49ers.
Misdirection that time by the 49ers, taking advantage of the quick reactive defense of Chicago as they got around Osborne that time.
It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards for the San Francisco 49ers, who have lost 3 of their last 4 games. They've been successful on 3rd down conversion. Montana being chased. No one there. No flags down, incomplete, and it'll be 4th down, as Freddie Solomon was the intended receiver, but the Bears were all over him.
Excellent coverage this time by the Bears secondary. A good drop by number 55, Otis Wilson back there. Number 27 is the rookie Mike Richardson. Montana had nowhere to go, rolled out and threw it away.
And on 4th down and 4, Ray Wershing, who has hit his last 16 on artificial turf, will try to tie the score. This will be a 24-yard attempt with Montana holding. And the kick is good. So it's now 17 in a row for Ray Wershing, who has had a fine year, 22 of 25. And they're not fair weather fans. They're here, and we have a tie score. And a good drive by the 49ers. They got the 3 they needed to tie the score in over 6 minutes. Anytime you have that kind of a drive, you're in good shape.
But once they got in that red zone inside the 20, the Bears defense stiffened up. And that's been characteristic of them for a long time around here.
Ray Wershing will kick off. Anthony Hutchison and Willie Gault are back. Brian Batchnagel is also there, but Gault is in the middle. 5 seconds remain in the first quarter. There is Willie Gault, the speedster from Tennessee, one of the 2 first-round draft picks that the Bears used this year, as the wind is blowing the ball off of the tee. And Lake Michigan looks like the North Sea a little bit right now. Wershing kicking off, and it's Willie Gault at the 7. Runs into Richard Blackmore at the 27-yard line, and that will take care of the first quarter as Bill Ring and Blackmore make the tackle. There is Lake Michigan, and let me tell you, the wind is fierce. The score after one quarter, the Bears 3 and the 49ers 3. This is Dick Stockton along with Wayne Walker at Soldier Field, Chicago. Start of the second quarter. 3-3 is our score. The Bears come out 1st and 10 on their 27-yard line. Jim McMahon, the quarterback. And Walter Payton on the right side. High stepping it to a first down. And Dwight Hicks rising out of bounds. But not before Payton gets past midfield. And a good block by the wide receiver, Dennis McKinnon, and a gain of 29.
Payton lined up as a wingback or at the left here. Took it right there, got some good blocks, and then outrun everybody to the sideline and turned it up. You see Becker number 79 out in front of him. And it was Dwight Hicks who came over for the stop. Misdirection here, a couple steps by both linebackers. They see Payton going the other way, but they can't get back in the flow. And Becker number 79 out in front, as I said.
So 3 solid gains on the ground for the Bears thus far. McMahon with a 32-yard pickup leading to the field goal. Matsui picked up 23. Payton on a 29-yard gain. They're at midfield. Emery Moorhead in motion. Play action on 1st and 10. McMahon chase. And Dwayne Board is going to grab him and throw him down right there. And now Board and Kurt Becker, the right guard, got tangled up a bit. Loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Is that counted as a sack? If it is, what do you think Fred Dean's going to say about that?
That's a garbage sack, and maybe he has a point there. San Francisco 49ers coming into the game, leading the NFL in sacks.
Dean calls Board the garbage man because he gets a lot of those kinds of sacks. But Boeing Board says he'll take him. There's number 74, Fred Dean, and he'll be working against, we said, the rookie Jim Covert over on the left side of the Chicago Bear offensive line. 2nd
down and 12 at the 48. Opening minute of the second quarter. 3-3 to score here in Chicago. And here comes Matsui looking for an opening and gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage. Right now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Brent.
Dick, the Eagles are playing pretty well against the Washington Redskins. Here's their tying touchdown. Jaworski will go to his fullback, Hubie Oliver. Deadlocked at 7 now. And let's go back to Soldier Field and Dick Stockton.
Somehow it seems the Eagles always play the Redskins tough. Third down and 11 at the 49-yard line. They send Willie Gall out to the left. Ed Marjoram, Dennis McKinnon out to the right in the shotgun formation. McMahon will run it. And coming from behind is Jim Stuckey to make a good play on McMahon. And if Stuckey hadn't gotten there, McMahon might have made a first down out of it. He is stopped short by about a yard. The crowd wants the Bears to go on, but they're going to send in Bob Parsons.
McMahon has a great sense of where everyone is out there around him. That time he stepped up, Dean went in behind him. And then as he came out over here on his run, number 34, Walter Payton, gave him a good block.
So Bob Parsons is punting, and there is Jim McMahon, a gutsy, confident quarterback who's happy that that quarterback problem has been resolved. And now Parsons will punt from the 45-yard line. Dana McLemore is standing with the 10, and it's a fake. The short man,
Brian Bashnagel, I think,
has a first down inside the 40, and they do. Brian Bashnagel, the short man.
He's 84 right there, the short man. A good job up front, a big hole for him. He only needed a yard and got about 3. One of the great names in football, I think. I always thought that way, even when he was playing at Ohio State. Brian Bashnagel.
There's some names that just have a ring to it, and Bashnagel is one. You had played with one of the guys at the Detroit Lions, right? And a defensive lineman?
Well, I thought had the best name on the Lions was Yale Larry.
Yale Larry.
I thought that was a good football.
Darius McCord wasn't bad either.
That was your favorite.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 39. McMahon to throw. Willie Harper rushing on the play, and Walter Payton at the 35. Payton has a first down. 25-yard line. Jack Reynolds makes the tackle. And Noah Jackson, the left guard, with a big block. And the Bears moving the ball. We have a penalty marker also down at the 25.
Look how long McMahon holds this ball. The longer you hold it on the screen, the better it goes. Jackson, number 65. Watch his block right there on Ronnie Lott. And Payton gets some more.
It appears to be against the Bears.
Delay the game. Spiking the ball, number 34.
Spiking the ball, a delay of the game penalty against Walter Payton. And that is a call you rarely hear.
Definitely the first time we've seen it this year. Maybe that call some once in a while for taunting, but I didn't get that out of that call.
The Bears are the 5th most penalized team in the National Football League, and now the referee Pat Haggerty will mark it off. They'll spot it at the 30. You know what the crowd thinks of it.
Delay the game, spiking the ball after the play was over. Number 34, offense, 1st and 15.
1st and 15. They could get Pete Rose a lot on that call, couldn't they?
Payton now has caught for 27 yards, rushed for 29, and 56 yards total offense for Mr. Do-It-All with the Bears. 1st and 15 at the 29. 3-3 to score. McKinnon in motion. And Tina Turner with a penalty flag down. Fumble. McMahon loses it. Turner loses it. And it may be out of bounds. Let's see what they call. Jack Reynolds was the last man to go after the ball. And the flag was thrown just as Tina Turner got to McMahon.
Holding, offense.
So whoever responsibility it was to keep Tina Turner out of there was holding on the play.
I think he twisted an ankle or something on that play, too. You can see him hobbling around a little bit. He came from a blitz on the outside, the right-hand side. He used his great speed. Got back there immediately.
Tina Turner, linebacker who's in on just about every defense that the 49ers use.
Holding, number 65, offense, decline.
And now Noah Jackson is saying, not me. They're declining the penalty and taking the loss back at the 43-yard line. And Noah Jackson better watch it, otherwise he's going to be hit with unsportsmanlike conduct.
They could get some more tack on. So they're just calling it a sack, saying McMahon was in the grasp. Here it is right here. Turner on the outside. And he was. Called him in the grasp of Tina Turner before the ball went loose. So no fumble. They called it a sack.
The penalty was declined. 14-yard loss as a result of the sack. McMahon on 2nd down and 28 to Matsui. Matsui looking for room and head down, barrels inside the 35-yard line. And a good pickup on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd. They have to get to the 14-yard line. Eric Wright and Jim Stuckey make the tackle on Matsui. There's Stuckey, former #1 draft choice in his 4th year out of Clemson.
Comes in and switches around on this defensive line, a lot like the rest of them do. Has played both ends, as does Dwayne Board, as does Lawrence Pillars, as does Fred Dean. They move their people around, get everyone involved on that defensive line.
Under 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Windy day. The rain may have stopped a bit, and I think it has, but it is still chilly and windy. 3rd and 19 at the 33, and there's the pitch inside to Matsui from McMahon, and Suey gets inside the 25-yard line. It's 4th down, and Bob Thomas is going to come on to try to give the Bears a lead. Stuckey again on the tackle. So we're seeing some frills. I think Stuckey's left shoulder's bothering him.
We did see some frills on that play. That was a planned rollout left by McMahon, and then a shovel pass to Suey. And Mike Ditka brought that one with him from Dallas. I've seen the Cowboys run that one.
That will count as a forward pass. Bob Thomas will attempt a 39-yard field goal. He is only 3 of 11 this year from beyond 30 yards. 0 for 2 as you saw, between 30 and 39. Holding is Baschnagel. And he fumbles the snap. And Eric Wright picks it up for the 49ers, and they'll take over at the 32-yard line, or the 33. So Baschnagel couldn't handle the snap from center, and the 49ers will take over on offense.
Trouble with the snap here now. Remember Mike Ditka, we told at the top of the show, said that his team is has hurt themselves more than other teams have hurt them. Indications right here on this drive. A couple penalties put them in a hole. They had a chance to get 3 points right there. Couldn't handle the snap, and that's exactly what Ditko was talking about.
Joe Montana, 7 of 12 for 59 yards. He has thrown 1 interception. With 9:50 to go in the first half, 1st and 10 for the 49ers on their own 31-yard line. They're still tied 3-3. Play action, Montana. Hampton all over. Finally gets rid of the ball, and it's incomplete. Singletary is saying, what about grounding? Because we didn't see any 49er receiver downfield, and Hartenstein, along with Hampton, rushed Joe Montana.
Things broke down for the 49ers that time. You see Francis coming in, trying to get a block on somebody, can't find it. Still looking for a block because he's not looking back for the ball.
So it looked like they were trying to go to Russ, who last week did not catch a pass, but he caught 5 the week before, and he's come on. It is 2nd and 10 at the 31. Montana drills it to Freddie Solomon, close to a 1st down. Leslie Frazier, the right-hand cornerback, makes the tackle. So Freddie Solomon, who lined up briefly and took part in 5 plays against Atlanta. He's had a muscle pull in his thigh, and of course there was a lot to do in San Francisco about some of the players, and even Bill Walsh doubting how fast Solomon was getting back in action.
I kind of doubt that about Fred Solomon. I think that if he could play, he would, and you can't judge. I learned that in the 15 years I played. Some guys can come back from injury sooner than others. Their threshold is different. Solomon's the kind of guy that'll play if he can.
Anyone who knows Solomon should know that. 1st and 10, Roger Craig, left side. Hampton gets an arm around him for a couple right now for an NFL Today report. Let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York.
Dick, 2 more records for Big John Riggins. The 13th straight game that he has rushed for a touchdown in the National Football League. 20 rushing touchdowns in 1 year, also a mark. Let's go back to Chicago, and here's Dick Stockton.
Thank you very much, Brent. And the Washington Redskins leading, and of course the Redskins and the Cowboys, who beat the Cardinals on Thanksgiving Day, headed for that showdown. 49ers have rushed for only 27 yards, 11 of them by Wendell Tyler. 2nd and 7 at the 45, and Tyler is going to lose some here. Loose ball, and they blew it dead at the 42-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 yards. Richard Dent and Mike Singletary came in. 8th-round draft pick from Tennessee State, was injured in preseason, but they like him as a good prospect.
Unusual defense by the Bears that time. They had 2 linebackers. Look at him. Campbell and Singletary right there, and Wilson on the tight end. They used up the tight end, and Singletary hits the gap on a blitz. So 3 linebackers over on the same side of the field that time for the Bears. Wilson, Campbell, and then Singletary up the gap.
And if they think the 49ers show a lot of formations on offense, the Bears show a lot of fronts on defense. 3rd and 9 at the 43. We have 8 minutes remaining. Bill Walsh, who had a chance to even his career record with the 49ers, but lost to Atlanta last week. Montana being chased back, looking for receivers, going to Dwight Clark, and Kerry Schmidt knocks it out of bounds. So the veteran Kerry Schmidt in his 10th year covering Dwight Clark step for step. But I'll tell you one thing, Joe Montana is being chased from the pocket by the Bears so far in this game.
Bears are getting excellent pressure. Number 44, Terry Schmidt, a long-time starter here in his 10th year in the league. Knows that when Montana gets in trouble, he looks for number 87, and he was on him like an extra shirt.
So Tom Orris is in to punt. He'll be kicking from about the 30-yard line. Dennis McKinnon is back there by himself at the 20. McKinnon, leading punt returner, averages nearly 9 yards a return. And here's a fake, and Tom Orris is going to run for it. Orris to midfield, needs 2 yards. He has the 1st down, and out of bounds at the 42. A 1st down. Tom Orris, who, don't forget, was a quarterback in high school and ran at Ohio State a lot.
A good athlete, an all-state quarterback. He needed 8 big yards here. I don't know whether Bill Walsh called that or Orris took off on his own, but he made a good run. A long jumper in high school also, so he's got speed. And picked it up. 2 trick plays we've seen on punt formation.
Well, earlier this year against Minnesota, he took a punt on a bounce and ran for a 1st down. This is the 2nd time he's done it. So 1st and 10 on a big gainer. by the 49ers. They're at the 41-yard line. And Wendell Tyler picks up 7 yards. 16-yard pickup by Orris on the fake. And the 49ers now are at the 33-yard line of the Chicago Bears. Singletary and Otis Wilson stopped Tyler on that play. 7:15 showing on the clock. We're in the second quarter. 3-3 to score. Bob Thomas with a 29-yard field goal. And then Ray Wershing with a 24-yarder to tie the score. Both in the first quarter. 2nd down and 2 at the 34 now. Tyler hit and hit hard. Mike Singletary was right there. Close to a first down, and he might have been shy. Right now, let's find out what Brent Musburger has to report from New York. Brent?
Dick, Minnesota has regained the lead on New Orleans, and watch Steve Dills. He'll drill one to Tony Galbraith here. Bang, touchdown. New Orleans, the former Saint, has got it, and now Minnesota leads at 10-7. Let's go back to Dick.
All right, Brent, they go back and forth at the Superdome. Right here, it's been 3-3, and a 3rd down and 2 at the 33 for the 49ers. 3 tight ends in there. Play action. Montana is sacked. And it was the rookie, Richard Ginn, who got Montana way back at the 42-yard line and not only knocked him down for a loss, but out of field goal range.
Got in there immediately, too, on an inside rush. Came in almost untouched. He was the school sack leader at Tennessee State, and he gets one here this afternoon.
First sack of the game by the Bears, but they've had countless hurries on Joe Montana all day. So on 4th down, Tom Orris, who faked and ran 16 yards for the first down last time, will kick from the 45. Dennis McKinnon is back for the Bears. 3-3 to score. There was McKinnon. It's a low kick. Takes the bounce, McKinnon on the 9. And Dana McLemore just holds him in right there. So the Bears not in good field position, but they have the ball with 5:45 remaining in the first half. We are still tied. The Chicago Bears have doubled the 49ers in rushing, 102 to 50. Peyton has 29 of the 102. First and 10 at the 10-yard line. So McMahon has his toughest task so far in this ball game. Play action. He's got some time. He needs receivers. And finally, he tries for one, and I believe it's complete. Let's see. It is complete at the 31-yard line to the tight end, Emory Moorhead. Good catch by Moorhead.
Official right there. Moorhead down on one knee, but has good control before his head slides out of bounds. Good call.
And Ronnie Lott was right there with him, but Moorhead made the stop. A gain on the play of 20 yards. So it's 1st and 10 now at the 31-yard line. So McMahon's bullet toss gets the Bears out of trouble.
And his nimble feet.
5 minutes to go in the first half. McMahon looking deep, and Tina Turner has a hand on him. 3rd sack of the game for the 49ers. And right now, for an NFL Today update, let's check in with Brent Musburger again in New York.
Dick, Philadelphia is playing a strong game against Washington. They come right back after that last touchdown. 3 plays. Jaworski 17 yards now to Mike Quick. 10 touchdowns on the season for Quick. They're deadlocked at 14. Let's go back to Dick.
Well, they're playing him tough. Meanwhile, the Bears and 49ers are playing tough, where Jim McMahon, percentage-wise, having a fine day so far, 7 of 9 for 83 yards. Now faced with a 2nd down and 13. Ball at the 27. Less than 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. High score. Dumps it off to Matsui. Matsui to the 30, 35, and Sui will have a first down at the 41-yard line. And he got there by virtue of second effort. Ronnie Lott had him. And Sui battled his way for a first down at the 41. Gain on the play of 13.
And you have Walter Payton in the backfield with you. The defenses respect him. Watch Payton go out to the left here. Sui sets up for a count or two. You know the linebackers are looking at 34. He slips out. This is a planned screen. You see the blocks right there. 79 was Becker. And like Sui told us yesterday, I want to get the yards I deserve, be consistent, make no mistakes. And he's got good speed. He broke out of there on a run.
Plays like typical Penn State performer. Fullbacks, linebackers, all alike. They're aggressive. 1st and 10 at the 41 now. McMahon. Tim Collier got a hand on it. It was intended for Dennis McKinnon, the wide receiver. And if that had gotten through some way, he would have been off. Check the scores now of the games in progress right now around the league. The Jets over New England. Second quarter. Minnesota, as you saw in the seesaw game, leading New Orleans now. Tampa Bay 12-0 over Houston. Cleveland over Baltimore 21-10 in the second quarter. High score in Washington, where the Eagles are playing the Redskins Cup. Second down and 10 at the 41. That's McKinnon in motion. And Matsui hit by Pete Kugler, the nose tackle, who's having an outstanding year for the San Francisco 49ers. 3-12 and running. Second quarter. Thomas and Wershing have hit on field goals, and Thomas's second attempt to try to put the Bears in front never came about when there was a mishandling on the snap. The Saints have tied up the Vikings now 10-10 at the Superdome. Third down and 7 at the 44 for the Bears. Dean is trying to get to McMahon. So is Stuckey. McMahon's going to run for it. And he dives and may have the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Ronnie Lott drove him out of bounds. And now it appears that they're short by less than a yard. Remember what Bill Walsh told us before the game yesterday in practice about how the defense is going to key the effort. What do you think so far?
They've been getting a pretty good effort, and they are up for the ball game, no question about it. But McMahon is just tremendous back there, avoiding the rush and getting away from people. The 49ers are sending a lot of people out, and then he does look just like a Montana back there, the way he gets out of trouble.
Well, they're going to go for it. You saw Mike Ditka. He's sending in 3 tight ends, Jay Saldy and Pat Dunsmore, a rookie from Drake, joining Emory Moorhead. So it'll be fourth down and 1 yard to go with the ball at midfield. I would think with a nimble McMahon and with a Walter Payton and a Matsui and 3 tight ends, 1 yard could be something the Bears could get here.
Payton likes to leap over the top in these situations.
It's a full yard, not inches here. McMahon himself, he's got it.
McMahon's got enough energy. He was playing around in practice yesterday like he was one of the ball boys, huh? Wrestling with people, playing catch with anybody he could find to play catch with.
If you didn't know McMahon was the quarterback of the team, you'd say, boy, he must be a relative of one of the coaches or owners here.
He was having a good time.
They may measure here, but it looks as if, well, let's see. I don't know now. They spot the ball to the midfield side of the 49, and it may be awfully close. I don't think Mike Ditka likes where they spotted that ball at all, because they may come up short. Boy, this is an inch either way or less. So the fans here who have braved the cold and the wet have something to smile about right now. First down.
Stuff in the middle. Number 50 is Ricky Ellison. 64 is Reynolds. Kugler, the nose tackle, goes sideways. They do a pretty good job of stuffing it up in there, but McMahon gets that extra inch, and that was the first down.
We have 2:17 and running now, and the Bears first and 10 now at the 49-yard line. McMahon takes short, going long, wide open. Dennis McKinnon, touchdown. Touchdown reception by Dennis McKinnon, a free agent rookie from Florida State who did not even start on the Seminoles last year.
McMahon rolls out right off the play action, looks downfield only at McKinnon, flagged him there as McKinnon gave Collier an outside move and got him tied up a little bit, and then streaked it downfield and was open by about 3 steps, and McMahon had it right on the shelf for him.
And now Bob Thomas will try the conversion. He is 27 of 29 this year, holding his Baschnagel, and the kick is good. So Dennis McKinnon, who actually drafted the Bears, they told us, by studying the Bears wide receiver situation, thought he could make the team and did. Here it is.
Here it is right here now. Now remember, McMahon's rolling out to the right and is going to fake a short pass right here on this outside move. Call your bid on that and watch McKinnon go the rest of the way. 49 yards for the score for the rookie McKinnon for the Bears. McMahon and him hook up, and the Bears have the lead here now by a score of 10-3.
There's a scoring drive, and the Bears went 90 yards. They started at their own 10-yard line to take the 10-3 lead, and for McMahon, his 8th touchdown pass of the season and his longest touchdown pass of the year. 49 yards. He threw a 50-yard pass at Minnesota last year. The Bears lead at 10-3. Their kind of weather, as we said right at the outset. And Bob Thomas will be kicking off. 2:04 remaining in the first half. Dana McLemore back there along with Bill Ring. But it's McLemore at the 6. Fumbles it. And it's down there at the 7. Brian Cabral, terrific hustling performer who started his career in Atlanta, then went to Green Bay. So the Bears defense playing a superb game so far. Now really aroused with less than 2 minutes to go. Our 2-minute warning right now. The Bears lead at 10-3. This is Dick Stockton along with Wayne Walker here at Soldier Field, Chicago. We've just had our 2-minute warning. The San Francisco 49ers have all of their timeouts remaining. 1:55 showing on the clock. The Bears lead at 10-3, and the 49ers starting from their own 7-yard line. It's a 46 defense for the Bears. They got Walt Williams and Terry Smith as the 2 extra defensive backs. Montana in the end zone, going for Clark, and threw it out of bounds. And I think he was intending to throw the ball out of bounds. Everyone was covered.
Good job by the Bears secondary, and they do have to be careful down here. The 49ers do. Ball on the 7-yard line. It cuts down what they can do by about 50% in this situation.
Bears dominating the yard story. In fact, they've done that throughout the season. Montana is 8 of 16 for 70 yards and 1 interception. Mike Wilson has caught 3. Craig and Tyler 2 each, and Freddie Solomon caught the other pass. 2nd down and 10 now with 1:47 on the clock. Montana under pressure, and his pass is caught at the 20-yard line by Nehemiah. We didn't expect to see much of Ronaldo Nehemiah in the game. He suffered that very severe concussion last week. Didn't really remember the hit at all, and didn't think we'd see him.
Well, it's probably good that he didn't remember the hit. Won't have any bad memories to erase from his mind.
1st and 10 at the 20 with 1:20 showing. Swing pass. And the swing pass to Mike Wilson. Out of bounds, stops the clock at the 30 with 1:15 on the clock. Mike Richardson defending. And if you want to see one of the best quarterbacks in the league in gaining yards in a hurry, stopping the clock, using the clock well, and getting into scoring position, you're looking at him.
Number 16 can do it. They have, as Dick said, their timeout still on the board when this drive started. And plenty of time for him now with 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
Of course, the Bears were in a situation if they had stopped the 49ers to call timeouts of their own so that they would have another chance to score. But the 49ers trying to move now, trailing 10-3. They're at the 31. Montana hit from behind and fumble. And now they're ruling that he is down at the 22-yard line. Dent picked it up, but Montana was hit and down from behind by Otis Wilson.
It was a 3-man rush that time with 1 linebacker blitzing. That made it 4. Wilson was the blitzing linebacker. You see him 55 right of the screen. He was picked up initially, but number 73, Mark Hartenstein, over here to the left, will make Montana belly back right into the arms of Otis Wilson, number 55. A good hustle on both players, Hartenstein and Wilson.
So it's now 2nd and 18. Penalty flags fly. Roger Craig on a deflection can't hold on. Mike Hartenstein got a piece of it, and it'll be 3rd down. But as we said, a penalty marker. Man in motion against the 49ers. Mike Hartenstein leads the Bears in sacks. He has played in every game in his 9-year career.
Well, he's got a great work ethic, too, Dick. He hustles hard in practice, works hard in the
Yelling
offseason.
motion, number 81, offense, decline, third down.
Russ Francis in motion, talking about Hartenstein. He scored a touchdown last week. McMichael forced a fumble, and he ran 10 yards with it.
Hartenstein said he'd rather had the sack than the touchdown.
Another Penn Stater. Third down and 18 at the 23 with under a minute remaining, 52 seconds in the first half. There's Mike Wilson in motion. Montana going up on top for Mike Wilson. And Wilson makes the catch. No, they say he's out of bounds. Yes. The official signaled no and then signaled first down at the 39. One of the strangest moves I've seen. Walt Williams was right there with him. A 38-yard gain. Did you see what I saw?
I did. He came up and was waving it off and then marked it on the sideline. Let's see. Great throw here by Montana, though, and Wilson makes a good adjustment on the sideline. Keep in mind where his feet are. He's got the ball. Whoa. Looked like that first foot, half of it was out of bounds, my friends.
The first call was the right call. He waved it off, and then he signaled first down. 46 seconds on the clock at the 39-yard line. And the 49ers still have 3 timeouts to go. Here's Wendell Tyler. He's got it, and ridden out of bounds inside the 15 by Leslie Frazier. So 2 long passes, one to Wilson and the other to Tyler. That was 26 yards. The one before was 38.
Good protection now. As I said, the Bears just rushing 3 men and once in a while an occasional linebacker. Maximum protection for the Niners. And Tyler out of the backfield for the kick.
Now it's 1st and 10 at the 13 for the 49ers with 39 seconds to go in the first half. 64 yards and 2 pass plays. Montana finds Russ Francis, who goes out of bounds. Let's check. No, it's Dwight Clark. And that's Clark's first reception of the afternoon. So the 49ers leading receiver grabs that one at the 5. Todd Bell made the hit on Dwight Clark.
I'm sure it was one of those option patterns that time for Dwight Clark where he has his option to run a post pattern or a corner or pull up and run a turn depending on what the defense does, and Montana read him and got the ball to him.
2nd down and 1 at the 4 with 33 seconds to play in the first half. Solomon in motion. Montana looking to Francis and throws it over his head. Covering was Mike Richardson on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Richard Dent put the rush on Joe Montana.
Watch the job the Bears defense did on Clark here. A bump short. He gets down to the end zone and runs along that baseline, but he's well covered by 44 Terry Schmidt back there.
And now the 49ers bring on Eason Ramson and Earl Cooper. They have 3 tight ends in there now at 3rd and 1. And with 27 seconds to go and 3 timeouts, they have several options there. And I think they're looking just to get the first down perhaps and go from there. Play action. No, Montana's going to try for it. He sees open spaces. Montana head down is stopped at the 1 and calls a timeout. The 49ers get the first down, and Mike Richardson and Otis Wilson save the touchdown on that play.
Good hustle that time by the linebacker Wilson, number 55.
So we'll call a timeout now. The 49ers have 2 remaining. 19 seconds on the clock. It'll be 1st and goal at the 2 when we come back. In a hurry, the San Francisco 49ers have gone from their own 7-yard line to 1st and goal at the Bear 2. 19 seconds remain in the first half. 10-3, the Bears lead. Wendell Tyler. No signal yet. And a fumble, and the Bears may have recovered. Let's wait and see. It is Chicago ball. The Bears recover a fumble at the 1, and Steve McMichael came up with the ball. Otis Wilson might have provided the hit. McMichael out of the University of Texas.
Otis Wilson and Singletary is 50. Wilson 55 coming in right there, jarred the ball loose, and Wendell Tyler on the way down, and the defensive tackle McMichael came up with it, and it's a saver for the Bears.
So the 49ers apparently were heading in for a touchdown that perhaps would have tied the game. Instead, there is a fumble. Now the officials are conferring. The 49er offense, Montana is still out there, and the Bears offense unit partially there. It's Chicago ball. Make no mistake now. Second turnover by the 49ers. Montana threw an interception, and now Tyler fumbles in the worst possible place. "11 seconds remain in the first half. And the Bears getting out of danger. And the Bears getting out of danger. And they can credit their aggressive, hard-hitting defense. That's marked their play throughout. Bill Walsh has to feel the frustration. Jim Osborne has been helped off the field. He was shaken up. Bears defensive left tackle. The ball at the 1 now. Make it the 2. McMahon not trying anything fancy. And they're going to let the clock run down. Well, the party fans who have come out to Soldier Field in Chicago have seen the Bears take a 10-3 lead and then hold on by recovering a fumble on their own 1-yard line. We're at halftime. There is Jim McMahon, the Chicago Bears quarterback, who has completed 9 of 12 for 145 yards and 1 touchdown. That a 49-yard play to rookie Dennis McKinnon, and that's been the difference. The only scoring in the second quarter, and the Bears, who are looking for their 3rd straight victory and come into the game trailing 2 games by 2 games in the NFC Central Division, know that they have a shot at winning the division title. 49ers also tied for the lead in the NFC West. These are the first half statistics, and they favor Chicago.
You see the difference in rushing. 114 yards. McMahon has 51 yards of those. He is the Bears' leading rusher.
He has 29 yards and 5 carries. Over on the 49ers side, Joe Montana is 13 of 23 for 167. 1 pass intercepted.
Payton has the 29 yards. McMahon has the 51 yards.
That's right. McMahon 51 yards and averaging 10. Of course, that 32-yard gain was the big one.
Just the one big play, the touchdown pass from McMahon to McKinnon, is the difference in this ball game.
Ray Wersching will be kicking off. The Bears will receive as we start the second quarter. Willie Gault will be the deep man. Brian Baschnagel is to the left. And Ken Marjoram to the right. There's Willie Gault. That emblem on the shoulder of the Bear uniform is an H, and it symbolizes George Halas, the founder of the Chicago Bears and one of the founders of the NFL, who passed away earlier this year.
I kind of hope they keep that on there forever.
They should. Wersching's kickoff to start the second half. And Willie Gault to the 8. Willie Gault to the 30. And out of bounds at the 31-yard line by Ray Wersching, the kicker. Well, coming up next Saturday, the NCAA Today starts at 12 Eastern, and then it is Florida State against Florida. Both teams, of course, will be going to postseason bowl games. Florida 7-2-1 will be in the Gator Bowl. Florida State will be heading for the Peach Bowl. And next Saturday, NCAA basketball, Indiana versus Kentucky. Kentucky beat Louisville last night. Bobby Knight against Joe B. Hall, 4 o'clock Eastern. 1st and 10 at the 36 now. And Walter Payton brings it out to the 41-yard line. Stopped by Jack Reynolds. Payton had 29 yards rushing in the first half.
You could have fooled a lot of people, Dick, if you would have guessed that Walter Payton would have just had 5 carries in the first half of this game for the 29 yards you mentioned. That was an almost 6 yards a try, though.
Second down and a long 4. 10-3, the Bears lead the 49ers. At 5 and 7 coming into this game. And Matsui and Payton blocking Willie Harper. Matsui barrels his way and close to a first down. Ricky Ellison the rookie inside linebacker for the 49ers. Ellison's the rookie and Jack Reynolds the 14-year man. But Suey close to a first down.
You mentioned it, Peyton, showing how versatile he is. He went for Willie Harper's ankles, the outside linebacker, and put him on the ground.
It'll be third and about a yard now for the Bears. And they're bringing in Saldi and Pat Dunsmore, 3 tight end alignment for Chicago. There is Jay Saldi, the former Dallas Cowboy, who was going to be starting, and then he hurt his back.
Back in the thigh injury, and has had problems breaking in there.
McMahon on the quarterback sneak. See where they spot the ball. Kugler and Reynolds on the play. And let's see where they put it down. Last time it was awfully close, and this is a first down by the length of the football. So a first down for the Chicago Bears at the 47-yard line, leading 10-3. We knew we would have our share of no-shows today, but I think that we do have a pretty good crowd, an enthusiastic Chicago Bear crowd, and they came prepared.
No question. I think these are all the same people that used to be in Wrigley Field.
Sure. First down average, you saw Chicago doubling San Francisco's output. First and 10 at the 47. And here's Walter Payton to the 49. Gain of 2. Jack Reynolds makes the tackle. Talk to Hacksaw Reynolds, who still loves the game of football. He wouldn't be in it, of course, if he didn't like it. Last time he had faced Walter Payton, Reynolds was playing for the Los Angeles Rams, and Payton didn't really do all that well, but he got the winning touchdown late in the game.
And he said about this Bear team, this is the most complete Bear team offensively that he's seen in his 14 years in the league.
Walter Payton has scored 2 touchdowns last week against Tampa Bay. Second down and 7 at midfield. And on the draw play, Matsui breaks a couple of tackles and takes it into 49er territory at the 47-yard line. It'll be third and about 3 now, and the tackle is made by Ricky Ellison and Tina Turner.
Not much there for Suey originally. Broke a couple of tackles and picked it up. Over 100 yards last week for the first time in his career, and Walter Payton gave him $100. Had to give him $100. He bet him one time that if he ever got over 100 and outgained him, he'd give him $100. So Suey did okay.
I think they had to go to the judge, Bob Thomas, who's an attorney, to really settle it. Wasn't that easy. Third down and 4 out of the shotgun. And McMahon with a deep drop and was trying to signal Dennis McKinnon to go deep. And it was overthrown McKinnon, who was covered by Ronnie Lott on the play. So it'll be 4th down. And Bob Parsons will come in, presumably to punt for the Chicago Bears. It is a lot windier now and rainier. We didn't start with a real pleasant day today. And we're having a real hard downpour right now. And there you can see what the wind is doing with the goalpost at one end. Dana McLemore is back. Bob Parsons with his second punt. Shift in the line, obviously trying to draw him offside with 4th and 4. Doesn't work. So Parsons will kick it away and kicks it straight up in the air practically. Goes about 20 yards or so, bounces on the 30, and it's down there by Emery Moorhead at about the 30-yard line. So we're going to take a break right now. 10:45 remaining in the third quarter. That was a 16-yard punt by Parsons. The San Francisco 49ers on their own 32-yard line. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker here at Soldier Field. Russ Francis, the tight end, is in motion. Montana running and being chased by Dave Duerson, the free safety. And Todd Bell, the strong safety, was blitzing Montana on the play.
It's a very reactive Bears defense. Bell is number 25. He's the safety on the blitz. Montana gets the pressure, takes off to the left, but then watch the reaction of the Bear linebackers close it up immediately and hold Montana to a small gain of about 2.5, 3 yards.
The Bears defense has been superlative all day against the 49ers. Scoreboard will tell you that with 3 points. but it's evident in other ways as well. 2nd down and 7 at the 35. The pitch to Roger Craig. Craig hemmed in, and Singletary and Campbell were right there.
Singletary just really has a nose for the football. He's one of those linebackers that whenever the ball is snapped, he's going to be near it somewhere. Number 50 is Singletary. He's the middle linebacker right now. That's Wilson, number 55, moving. Singletary, number 50. He almost reacts so quickly that he overruns Roger Craig here and then practically has to fall back inside to make the tackle. 3 times in his college career, he had over 30 tackles in a game.
And he's in his 3rd year from Baylor, and he says the Bears are really starting to believe in each other. He can feel something for the first time since he's been here. 3rd and 6 at the 36-yard line. Looking one way, going the other. The pass is incomplete and dropped by Ronaldo Nehemiah near midfield. Nehemiah had it. Leslie Frazier hit him, and Nehemiah could not hold on.
Steve McMichael, number 76, a stunt in there for the Bears. Watch him loop around here and kind of come in free because the guard was scraped off. Chases Montana out of there a little bit. Nehemiah on the catch. The hit by Frazier, and Ronaldo didn't hang on long enough.
Nehemiah, who was shocked after that catch last week and hit hard by Kenny Johnson, couldn't hold on. And right now the Bears are playing defense the way Bill Walsh had wanted the 49ers to play it. Not that the Niners are not playing good defense, but the Bears are hitting it every turn. Tom Morris will punt. Dennis McKinnon is back. McKinnon at the 26 on the run and hit, and it was Moten, the linebacker, from behind. Gary Moten made a fine tackle from behind on McKinnon to prevent a bigger gain. Timeout with 9:39 remaining in the 3rd. Everyone is hearty here at Soldier Field in Chicago. Smiles on the faces of the Honey Bears. It is 1st and 10 for the Bears at their 35-yard line, leading 10-3. Playing as good a defense as you can expect from anyone, particularly against a high-scoring team like the 49ers. Jim McMahon, Emory Moorhead, the tight end in motion. McMahon to put it up in the range. And Willie Gall couldn't make the catch. Try to make a diving effort. So it'll be incomplete. Well, Wayne, you've, counting a preseason game, played the Bears 31 times in your 15-year career, and you've been in a lot of games like this. Games like this with the weather, Dick, and the only thing that you can do is just totally forget about it. Block it out of your mind that it's wet and it's cold and it's miserable out there. If you let it bother you mentally, it will. It's going to affect the quarterbacks a little bit because as long as it keeps raining around here, the ball's going to get a little heavy. And there's a guy that was my playmate for a while. You both have a lot of respect for each other because I think you both played the game the way it was meant to be played. McMahon, under pressure, gets rid of it, incomplete. He's joined Emory Moorhead, and Lawrence Pillars, along with Dwayne Board, were putting pressure on. So the 49ers starting to put some pressure on. There's Lawrence Pillars, who said everyone gets his hand in a cookie jar with the 49er defensive alignment. Everyone really gets a chance to make the sack and the big play. Tell you what, in a day like today, it's usually the defensive team that comes up with a big play that turns the game around. There's a penalty marker down. And it is against the Chicago Bears, who have gone way back to huddle up again. Mike Dick is calling the plays, and they're shuttling in the tight ends. Jay Saldy will be coming in with the play. We'll check the penalty.
Holding, number 74, offense.
Holding called against Jim Covert, the rookie from Pittsburgh. What did Mike Ditka say? He says, I thought maybe he figured it was easier than it's turned out for him so far. But he's coming on. Well, he said the only people that Covert has had problems with is the quick people and the speed that they have up here. So far, it hasn't been burned by Fred Dean today. 2nd down and 20, however, on the 25. Moving pocket. And McMahon is going deep for McKinnon again, and it is almost intercepted by Ronnie Lott. Lott and Dwight Hicks were both there, defending with McKinnon. And Ronnie came close, and he knows it. Lions, or rather the Lions, we've been talking about the Lions. The 49ers in there with their nickel defense this time. Lott will play the corner situation in this one. McMahon with plenty of time on the rollout. But downfield, Lott was the man on the spot. Jeff Stover almost had a hand in McMahon's face. Well, you got to come prepared. I wonder if they can see the game through that plastic, or are they just keeping warm and dry? Their vision may be a little bit impaired with that plastic over them, but they're dry, and that may be the main thing. 3rd down and 20 now. We have 9 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-3, the Bears lead the 49ers. Pressure on McMahon out of the shotgun, and he overthrows Matt Suey. Blackmore was coming in on the play, so the 49ers love these situations defensively, don't they?
And you can just tell these couple series now that the weather is starting to be a factor out there. They're not quite as sharp as they were starting the ball game when they were fresh and the uniforms were dry and the ball was a little bit lighter.
So it'll be 4th down, and Bob Parsons is in to kick. We have had 2 surprises in punt situations, although we won't have one now, I don't believe. Parsons will kick from the 10, and Dana McLemore is at the 35. Max Nagel ran from short punt formation, and Tom Orris ran for a 1st down. Tough one to handle. Bounces on the 35. And Dana McLemore is going to just let it drop. It'll be down by the Bears at the 30-yard line. No return. 9:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Timeout. Stockton and Wayne Walker here at Soldier Field, Chicago, where it's 1st and 10 for the 49ers on their 31-yard line. Russ Francis in motion. Jeff Moore, the intended receiver, and an interception by the Bears. Mike Richardson, who intercepted his first 2 passes of his NFL career. He's a rookie. Last week against Tampa Bay, picks one off here.
Montana had his choice. He had Dwight Clark running a turn deep, Jeff Moore running one short. He went to Moore, and it was tipped. Mike Richardson came off Dwight Clark, who is covering, and made a fingertip catch.
They rule it an interception by Mike Richardson, who last week said that's what he needed. His first 2, so Montana on the phones now, and the Bears in 49er territory, 1st and 10 at the 37. 3rd turnover by the 49ers today. An inside reverse handoff to Suey is diagnosed perfectly by the 49ers. It was Keena Turner and Lawrence Pillars in for the play.
Turner didn't have to diagnose that time. He was already in there on the blitz coming from the left side.
The turnover story, 1 interception, and 2 interceptions, that is, and 2 and 1 fumble. And the 1 fumble really hurt the 49ers, with Wendell Tyler apparently going in for a touchdown.
Otis Wilson, the linebacker, hit him at about the goal line and recovered on about the 1.5 for the Bears as we ended the 1st half.
Not Bill Walsh's kind of day on the scoreboard or as far as the weather's gone. He likes the good weather for his team. Stanford, without question. 2nd and 13. McMahon. Penalty flag down. And Pillars chases McMahon out of bounds at the 45. 49ers claim that the Bears were holding on the play. I'm impressed with Jim McMahon's poise, aren't you?
Impressed with his quickness, too. He can really move back there.
No wonder Frank Ditka says he's the quarterback of the future here. Only in his 2nd year. Has a lot of moxie.
Well, they were switching their quarterbacks around between McMahon and Vince Evans earlier.
Holding, number 74, offense, declined.
They declined the penalty. It was holding on Jim Covert. So it'll be 3rd down now and 20, and the ball back at the 47-yard line. Bears are out of field goal range right now. They lead at 10-3. We talked about the different quarterbacks, because Vince Evans, who's played here 7 years and played some this year, has signed with the Chicago team of the USFL. He's heading here after this season. 3rd and very long for the Bears. Pressure on McMahon. McMahon a run to the 40 and runs right into Ronnie Lott. But picked a lot of those yards up as he gets inside the 35-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and about 5. Lott giving McMahon a message, but McMahon will give it right back, won't he?
I think he will. Got a ton of confidence in himself, and he's getting it done here this afternoon.
McMahon has gained 68 yards in 7 carries, and the quarterback of the Bears has outrushed the 49ers, and that's a team with Tyler and Craig.
And it hasn't been reckless yardage for him. I mean, he's only pulled it down and taken off when he's had to.
50-yard attempt coming up for Bob Thomas now, with Basnagel holding in bad weather. 4th and 5, and they're trying a 50-yard field goal. And the kick is no good. It is off to the left. So Thomas, who has struggled from the longer distances anyway, misses a 50-yard attempt. And so it's 6:59 showing on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. The Bears retain their lead over the 49ers 10-3. It'll be Niners ball. 10-3 the score. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker in rainy Soldier Field, Chicago. Wendell Tyler's gained only 19 yards for the 49ers, but the weather is not too conducive for passing right now. What do you do? 1st and 10 on the 32. Montana pressured, throws the incompletion. Gary Campbell was blitzing, and the Bears just seem to have the 49ers number there. They have taken the game away with their defensive play.
Really mixing up their fronts, mixing up their blitzes. Both Gary Campbell, number 59, you see right there, and Otis Wilson, 55, back there. They've moved them around from side to side, sometimes up the middle. 49ers a little confused now to where the Bears are coming from.
There you're looking at the 49er possessions today. 3 big turnovers in there. 2nd down and 10 at the 32. Here's Tyler. John Ayers in cross blocking, but he just gets a couple. Fumble, and the Bears have recovered. Jim Osborne was the first to get to Wendell Tyler. Mike Singletary recovered the fumble, and Bill Walsh has to be more than perturbed on the sideline. That is the 4th turnover of the game for San Francisco.
And it's great team defense. Look at those dark blue shirts, how many of them react to the ball and are out here right now. McMichael, 76. A couple other people out there. Singletary is 50. Are just playing good team defense all the way up and down the line. Duerson is number 22 right there. But I think Singletary ends up with it. Or it might be Duerson. They kept kicking around between themselves a couple times.
They had 4 blue shirts around that ball in any event. 1st and 10 Bears on the San Francisco 32. And McMahon's toss to Walter Payton. And another 1st down, or let's check and see where that ball was caught. Jack Reynolds making the tackle. And they spotted at the 25-yard line, so it'll be shy of a 1st down. It'll be 2nd and a long 2. 6:40 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-3 to score. And the way this game is going, the way the Bears defense has dominated the play, could be a big series for Chicago. Payton has the 1st down. He was going for the 1st down, and Payton gets it at the 21-yard line.
Biggie's run like this, you see it from ground level ever since he's been in the league, and he's only missed 1 game due to injury. He has total disregard for his body. Hitting it up here from the I formation. Nothing down there low. He takes it up over the top, and he's an acrobat.
Payton has gained 40 yards in 8 carries, and Mike Ditka, who has seen a few in his time, says without question Walter Payton's the best football player he has ever seen.
He only needed 1 catch today, Walter Payton did, to go past Ditka on the all-time Bear receiving list, and he's done that.
He is 2nd now to Johnny Morris, former Bear receiver who once caught 96 passes in a season in a CBS telecast. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. McKinnon in motion. He has already caught a touchdown pass today. Matsui hit by Reynolds immediately at the 20-yard line. A pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. A good inside-outside tandem the Bears have, and they can catch. Suey inside. Payton, of course, can go in either direction. Jay Saldi replaces McKinnon, so 2 tight ends in there now for the Bears. In fact, the way this game is going with the weather and all, even a field goal would be a big boost to Chicago's hopes. Bears lead at 10-3. 5:20 remaining, third quarter. 2nd and 9. Walter Payton inside the 15-yard line, shy of a first down by a couple of yards. And Lawrence Pillars makes the tackle, though, so they're going to their bread and butter now inside.
Well, they were due to do that, especially as the weather deteriorates. Wendell Tyler on the 49er bench, 2 fumbles this afternoon. And the Bears have recovered both of them.
3rd down and 2 at the 13. They've got 3 tight ends now. And Matsui has the first down. I believe he gets to the 10-yard line. Eric Wright and Jack Reynolds to tackle, and it is a Bear first down. They have not converted all that much on 3rd downs today, but that was an important one.
It was an excellent adjustment by Suey, too, at the line of scrimmage. It was designed to go left, nothing there, and he cut it back over the center and the right guard and picked up the first down.
42 yards and 11 carries for Matsui. 1st and 10 at the 10, and the Bears now are in a position where they can indeed get a first down without scoring. Suey, maybe a yard, that's all. And Ricky Ellison to make the tackle. Chicago Bears have proven that they're a good bad weather team, and not only that, if you look at the records, I guess the last couple of years, the Bears probably have one of the best records in the NFL in December. Now, we're not in December yet, but you get the message. When the bad weather comes, the Bears are there. Minnesota leading New Orleans in the 3rd quarter. Washington leading Philadelphia. Jaworski has thrown 3 touchdown passes today for the Eagles. Tampa Bay over Houston. Right here it's 2nd and 9. Play action. McMahon to McKinnon. Eric Wright makes the tackle at the 4-yard line. And everyone likes this Dennis McKinnon. In fact, Jack Reynolds, in talking about him yesterday when we met him at the practice, said that he seems to have a good feel for the game.
And that man right there, McMahon, says he can get open and he can catch it. But this is a courageous throw. There's 3 white shirts out there around McKinnon. And McMahon puts it in on a wire right here, as you can see.
Eric Wright may be shaken up on the play. And he is downed out of bounds on the near side. That's McKinnon's work today. And in that pile, in that group, Eric Wright is hurt. Eric Wright coming into the game 3rd in the NFC behind Mark Murphy of the Redskins and Johnny Poe of the Saints with 6 interceptions. Ronnie Lott and Dwight Hicks tending to Eric.
That might put the 49ers secondary in a bit of a bind if Eric Wright can't play. Ronnie Lott, normally a cornerback, is playing strong safety. Tim Collier is starting over on the other side.
And Carl Williamson has come into the ball game. Williamson had a bad ankle, but Williamson has come on now for the 49ers, and Eric Wright being helped off. Coming up next, most of you will see the Green Bay Packers against the Atlanta Falcons. The Packers are a game behind Minnesota. Coming into today's action, the Vikings are leading New Orleans. Some of you will see the Giants against the Los Angeles Raiders. But in that Green Bay-Atlanta game, it'll be Lynn Dickey and Steve Bartkowski. And you know about Bartkowski and his ability to bring the Falcons back on that Hail Mary pass last week.
Well, they played the spoiler last week, and they want to continue doing that the rest of the season to build a foundation for that franchise.
So Wright is out of there, and Carlton Williamson has replaced him. There's Williamson, who missed half of the year with a broken leg. 3rd and goal on the 3. And Walter Payton. And it was Carlton Williamson who put the final touches, but it was Jack Reynolds who's really clogged up the outside, and we have another 49er injured, and it's Dwight Hicks. So on successive plays, Two of the Niner defensive backs are shaken up.
I think that's one of those plays where Hacksaw Reynolds, who has been around the league for 14 years and studies film and tendencies of other teams as well as anybody and more than most, I think really knew what the Bears are going to run before they snapped the ball that time. He read that play the minute the ball was snapped and had good penetration and created that pileup for Walter Payton.
Meanwhile, Dwight Hicks, the veteran of the secondary, is shaken up. There was a loss of 3 yards on the play, so it'll be 4th down. Bob Thomas is already out there for the Chicago Bears. Rain, wind, and chill here at Soldier Field in Chicago. While we have a moment, I told you what's coming up next. We'll tell you what's coming up next Sunday. CBS has more exciting NFL action. The battle for the playoff berths continue. The NFL Today begins at 12:30 Eastern, and some of the early games. Bears against Green Bay. Rams at Philadelphia. Falcons at Redskins. Cardinals at New York Giants. Dallas against Seattle. The Cowboys against the Seattle Seahawks. Landry against Chuck Knox. Good battle of head coaches. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will go against these 49ers at Candlestick Park. Bill Walsh trying to see his club not fall behind in the race. You know, the 49ers do not have control of their own fate in this race, which we'll tell you about. It'll be a 23-yard attempt. Bashnagel holding for Bob Thomas. And the kick is good. So Bob Thomas, who kicked a 29-yarder earlier, now kicks a 23-yard field goal, and the Bears lead the 49ers 13-3. Back here in Chicago, Bob Thomas will be kicking off for the Bears, who now lead it 13-3. The Bears shutting out Tampa Bay last week, their first shutout in 3 years. Their defense has been stronger. I don't think it could be any better than it's been today, Wayne.
It's helping a lot to have Dan Hampton back.
Bill Ring and Dana McLemore are back for the 49ers. There's that wind again. Bears coming in second in the NFC, sixth in the NFL in total defense. And they've done it despite some injuries, with only Hartenstein playing all year up front. Gary Fensick lost in the secondary. Kick goes out of bounds, so Thomas will have to kick it again, this time from the 30. The San Francisco 49ers, as you know, came into this game tied with the Rams for first place in the NFC West, 7-5 record. But the difference now is that the 49ers and Rams, if they win the remainder of the games, the Rams would go with a better division record since the teams split in battles head-to-head.
The graphic right there points that out, and you can bet the Rams, who are playing a later game here this afternoon, will be watching the scoreboard.
And the reason why you want to win the division, if you're the Niners in this case, or the Rams, that if you're the wild card, you have to face either Washington or Dallas on the road in the first week of the playoffs, and then face either Washington or Dallas on the road the next week. And that's something I don't think anyone would want to go into. So there's a lot riding on the rest of the season in the NFC West. First place becomes more paramount than on the surface. Dwight Hicks shaken up. Good comeback. Dana McLemore bobbles the kickoff. Turns the corner and is knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line by Brian Bashnagel. And really knocked away. A 16-yard return. Fourth quarter now at the Superdome, where the Vikings, trying to hold on to their lead in the NFC Central, lead the Saints, who are a game behind in the NFC West. Philadelphia making it close for the Redskins. It's 28-24. They're in the third quarter. The Jets leading New England third quarter at Chase Stadium in New York. And Cleveland now with a chance to perhaps catch the Pittsburgh Steelers winning their game. First and 10 at the 35 for San Francisco. 1:44 remaining in the third quarter. Montana out to Bill Ring. Ring hit immediately by Dave Duerson.
So it's Ring and Roger Craig now in the San Francisco backfield, and I know that Bill Walsh has made the change partially because of the fumbles by Wendell Tyler, but also because this kind of day kind of fits Bill Ring's style of play. He's a lot like Matt Suhey of the Bears. Nothing fancy, but solid, and gets it done.
1:39 remaining in the third quarter. 13-3 the score. We were tied at 3-3 in the second quarter when McMahon hit McKinnon with a 49-yard touchdown strike. Thomas field goal giving the Bears a 10-point lead. Second down and 5. Here's Roger Craig. And it's McMichael and Frazier on the tackle.
McMichael is number 76. We'll see him in the middle of the screen, makes a good play, moves on out, sheds a block, and gets in on the tackle. He's having a good day from an interior tackle position.
Well, McMichael has led the team in sacks for 3 straight weeks. Started the year at left tackle, now playing at right tackle. It's 3rd and 2. Montana has Roger Craig, who's hit and does not have the first down. Todd Bell, a hard hitter, and Roger Craig is short of a first down, I believe. It is 4th down. So the Bears are just not making many mistakes on defense today. They are out-hitting the 49ers.
Todd Bell closed extremely fast on that play. As we told you earlier in the ball game, a strong safety. He's the second leading tackler on this Bear team, just 1 tackle behind Singletary coming into today.
It is 4th and 1. And Earl Cooper has come in, replacing Freddie Solomon with the play from Bill Walsh. And the 49ers are going for it on their own 44, 4th and 1 here in the third quarter. Trailing 13-3. Montana has the first down, I believe. He had to get just beyond the stripe at the 45. The longest rush for the Niners today was 6 yards by Wendell Tyler. It is a first down.
He used his center Fred Quillen, and the right guard Randy Cross went in the seam between them.
6 seconds to go, and we will not get another playoff here in the third quarter. And there's the end of the third quarter. And the 49ers will have some time to think things over, talk things over, and try to get back into this game. And that is the end of the third quarter here at Soldier Field in Chicago with the score: the Chicago Bears 13, the San Francisco 49ers 3. We now pause for a word from your local station. It is Lake Michigan in the background and a lot of rain and wind, and hearty fans here in Chicago. And they like what they've seen so far. The Bears lead at 13-3 as we start the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton along with Wayne Walker. 1st and 10 49ers on their 46-yard line. Montana sacked back at the 35. Steve McMichael, who, as we said, has led the Bears in sacks 3 weeks in a row. And that's the 3rd time that the Bears have gotten to Joe Montana.
McMichael was signed as a free agent by the Bears a couple of years ago. He was a number 3 draft choice of New England in '80. He fought off the block there by the center Fred Quillen, overpowered him, and made the sack.
He started the year at left tackle and beat out the veteran Jim Osborne, but then switched to right tackle when Hampton got hurt. Hampton now at right end, and Tyrone Keys has been a left tackle. 2nd down and 18 at the 37-yard line. Montana, 2nd and long. He has Freddie Solomon, and Solomon goes out of bounds at the 44. It'll be 3rd and about 11 now as Mike Singletary and Leslie Frazier chase Freddie out of there. These people knew how to get ready for this game, but on the San Francisco sideline, Bob McKittrick, the offensive line coach, as far as he's concerned, it's 80 degrees and sunny.
Well, he figures if his guys are out there getting wet, he's going to be along with him. He's a great coach. He's getting Woody Hayes School of Coaching right there. If you're going to fight in the North Atlantic, you got to train in the North Atlantic.
I tell you, that's tough. That says tough to me. 3rd down and 11 at the 45. 13-3 the Bears lead. Mike Wilson goes in motion. Montana has time, but his receivers are covered, and he's down again. That was Mike Hartenstein, and that's his 10th sack of the year, and the 4th time the Bears have gotten to Joe today.
But again, it was a real big surge by number 76, McMichael, who got Montana to step up in the pocket. Chased him right into Hartenstein.
But it had to be the coverage in the secondary that really spurred it on, gave the line a chance to get to him. So it is 4th down, and Tom Morris will be punting again the 4th time. Dennis McKinnon is deep for the Bears. McKinnon at the 26-yard line, hit and drop at the 26. Well, the way the Bears are playing defense today, that 10-point lead is really 20. That was a 34-yard punt, and we have a timeout. That's Mike Ditka, second year as head coach, was an assistant in Dallas and an integral part of the Bears' last championship year in 1963 when they used to win games by this score.
Well, he said his team has played hard for him this season, and that means something.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Here's Payton. Willie Harper hit him first. Gets across the 30-yard line. Chicago Bears lost 3 games early this season by 3 points. They have really come on now, and he feels that there are some clubs that are playing their best ball. The Lions he named as one, and his own team has to be included. He has been weeding out the people he doesn't like, and he says that task is not complete. 2nd down and 6 at the 32-yard line. McMahon with enough time. Saldi, the intended receiver, was hit by Ronnie Lott and hit hard. It'll be 3rd down. Interestingly, how McMahon is going to the air on 2nd down with a 10-point lead with a lot of time to go. He is 11 for 19 for 159 yards and doesn't mind putting the ball up.
That was definitely a passing situation. You think that he might keep it on the ground because of this weather and with a guy like Walter Payton back there, but you just can't go solely to the running attack. You can't sit on this kind of lead, and you have to confuse the defense and mix it up a little.
3rd down and 6. Inside handoff, and the 49ers read it perfectly. Payton carries. Jeff Stover inside was right there on the tackle. So it'll be 4th down, and the 49ers will have a chance to get their hands on it. We have a lot of time remaining. 12:43 to go in the 4th quarter. But the Bears' 10-point lead looms very large here by the basis of their defense. Payton has gained 48 yards, and Bob Parsons is in the kick. A 16-yard punt lowered his net average to some 24, and there's Dana McLemore at the 33. '49er almost moved in the line, no penalty flag down, and McLemore on a good kick by Parsons back at the 25. And down at the 31, a 41-yard punt, and Brian Cabral makes the tackle. But the 49ers go on offense, trailing by 10. The Chicago Bears leading the San Francisco 49ers 13-3. Dick Stockton and Wayne Walker. Wet and windy Soldier Field, Chicago. 1st and 10 for the 49ers on their 31-yard line. And Roger Craig with Randy Cross blocking. And the best gain on the ground should be good enough for a 1st down. Todd Bell knocking Craig out of bounds at the 41. Close to a 1st down. They might have made it. It is a 1st down for the 49ers. Roger Craig, who played in the shadow of Jarvis Redwine and Mike Rozier at Nebraska. Bears have controlled the ball and not just keeping it on the ground today. I would think that on running plays we'll see a lot of Roger Craig in this 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the 41. Here is Craig. He gets a couple.
The Bears continue to mix the 49ers up on defense, Dick. The play before this, they had 2 linebackers stacked on one side. This time they had 3 linebackers stacked on one side and all the defensive linemen down and over a gap. So they're giving them different looks on defense on every snap.
Mike Singletary is shaken up, and he's a man the Bears can ill afford to lose. He has really developed into a Pro Bowl candidate in his 3rd year out of Baylor. He has dropped some weight, so he's been quicker in coverages, and he's maybe the most important man on that defense.
The last play.
49ers have a 2nd and 7 on their 44-yard line with 11.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Easton Ranson, tight end, is in motion. Montana loops it for Ranson, who is out of bounds at midfield, shy of a first down by 1 yard. Otis Wilson, the left linebacker, makes the tackle. Brian Cabral replaced Singletary at middle linebacker in that one play. So now it'll be 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 at midfield.
Ball at midfield. Singletary is back in there for the Bears. There's Mike. And Bill Ring carrying, and a first down for the 49ers. Otis Wilson had penetrated into the 49er backfield, but Bill Ring gets the first down. Mike Singletary makes the tackle. And you expect nothing less from that hard-running overachiever Bill Ring.
He's one of those guys that you don't bring down with an arm tackle or one hand, and Otis Wilson did have penetration, got a hand on his shoulder pads, but Ring ran out of it and picked up an important first down.
At the 48-yard line of Chicago, gloomy day and beyond Soldier Field, Lake Michigan. So a lot of white caps coming in today from our hotel. Montana 1st and 10 at the 48, steps up and finds Roger Craig, who breaks the tackle. Finally, Mike Hartenstein brings him down, and a 9-yard pickup for the San Francisco 49ers. Otis Wilson had a shot. Here is Vince Evans, who has announced his intention to go to the United States Football League. Montana now has completed 18 of 31 for 196 yards. Last week he threw for 182. And only 3 times previously has he passed for fewer yards the last 3 years. 2nd down and 1. Craig stopped at the 40 by Dan Hampton, and a loss of about a yard on the play.
A loss of 1.
Hampton, number 99, as you see there, watch him come out down along the line of scrimmage. He's practically in the middle right here. Number 99, you see him trailing the guard. John Ayers, play that block off, come down just exactly like you're supposed to play defensive tackle.
Former first-round draft pick in his 5th season. Has been to the Pro Bowl. 3rd down and 2 now at the 40. Sullivan in motion. Montana to Dwight Clark. First down. And out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Leslie Frazier covering Dwight on the play. He was held in check last week when he caught 2 passes against Atlanta. Has caught only 2 today. He has led the NFL in receiving the last 2 seasons, but that won't be the story for him this year.
They use him a little bit differently than they have in the past, and Montana doesn't rely on him as much, which speaks really well for the 49er defense and their other people.
But in crucial moments, you can look for number 87. 1st and 10 at the 34. Montana looking right, being chased by Osborne, and throws it away. Penalty flag down. Mike Hartenstein put pressure on Montana. And Joe Montana is shaken up, limping. If you throw the ball away to avoid a sack, that is intentional grounding, and that's the call against Joe Montana.
They don't often call that when the ball is thrown out of bounds like you saw Montana do it, but he looped it about 40 yards high, and it was a definite situation where he was avoiding a sack by getting rid of it out of bounds. There it is right here. Now watch him. He is up in the air when he gets hit. You saw why he came on limping. That ankle right there caught on the AstroTurf on the way down.
Rough day for Joe Montana. Facing maybe the toughest defense his team has faced all year. His numbers are impressive enough, but the 49ers have managed only a field goal. 2nd and 22. Roger Craig slips and is ganged up on at midfield by Gary Campbell, the outside linebacker. So in the bad weather, the weather the Bears like to play in, they've won 2 in a row in inclement weather. Their defense has just overtaken the 49ers here. 8:45 remaining in the 4th quarter, 13-3 to score. We have a timeout, and Craig leaves the game under his own power. He was shaken up. Third down and 26 now for the 49ers.
They're working in an opposite direction now, Will. And the Bears bring out a couple linebackers and a defensive lineman. They'll probably go with 6 defensive backs on this.
Have you seen the 49ers as stymied on offense as they are today?
I have not. Not this season, and we've seen them quite a few times.
Play action, Ring and Moore with the back. Flips it out now to Bill Ring. And Ring is hit by Singletary. And stopped at the 45. Loose ball, but he was downed at the 45-yard line. And it'll be 4th down, and Tom Morris will have to kick it away for the 49ers. 8 minutes now remain in the 4th quarter. 13-3, and that 10-point lead continues to loom even larger for the Bears. McKinnon is deep. He caught the 49-yard touchdown pass, the big play of the game, offensively. Morris kicking it around the 20-yard line where Dana McLemore downs it right at the 20. 7.5 minutes in the 4th quarter remain. 13-3, the Bears lead, and they go on offense when we come back. Bill Walsh trying to find the answer, and it's not an easy one. The Bears lead 13-3, but it's bigger than the score there indicates. 1st and 10 at the 20. Thunderstorms were predicted, and we have not seen the lightning, but we think we heard the thunderstorms just then. Walter Payton is the lone setback, and here is Payton to the 23-yard line. Lawrence Pillars and Willie Harper make the tackle.
Dick, this is a very important sequence of downs for both teams now. The 49ers are in a situation where they can't afford to make a mistake. The Bears can, because they lead here by 10. But for the Bears, if they can control the ball on the ground here, move it downfield by mixing in the passes, they can use up enough time where they put the 49ers in this desperation time.
That's why this down particularly could be important. 2nd down and 7 at the 23. Under 7 minutes remaining. Willie Gault comes out to the right. McKinnon in motion, and here is Payton with a lot of blockers in front of him. Walter Payton has a 1st down beyond the 30-yard line. Jack Reynolds caught him from behind, but not before the Bears, I believe, have picked up a 1st down. It is, and the clock continues to run.
Payton got great blocks that time from the 2 guards on the pull, Kurt Becker and Noah Jackson.
The attendance today at Soldier Field, we had a sellout. All the tickets were sold for the contest. 40,483. 25,310 no-shows. But I got to really tip my hat to the fans who came here and stayed here. 1st and 10 at the 31 for the Bears. Under 6 minutes now. And a bootleg. McMahon. And it was Tim Collier who came up from his cornerback position to bring down Jim McMahon at the 37-yard line. McMahon now has rushed for 74 yards in the game. Payton has 59, Suey 42.
I bet they haven't seen 70 yards from a quarterback here since the days of Bobby Douglas.
That's right. Joe Montana's best day rushing was 50 yards against the Miami Dolphins. He can run when given the opportunity. Meanwhile, the clock continues to tick away. And the Bears lead. Solid right now at 13-3. 2nd down and 3 at the 38. Give it to Walter. First down, Bears. The Bears are chewing up the clock. Reynolds the tackle and just stopping the 49ers totally on defense. Tough combination to beat.
Yeah, and look what they did, the Bears. They pulled the tackle, Jim Covert, the left tackle, and he led Walter up the middle. Hutching coming down here, 74, makes a cutoff block there, keeps his feet, keeps going, and gets a block on 22 Hicks. The rookie's hustling, I'll tell you that.
It was 3-3 in the second quarter when McMahon hit McKinnon 49 yards with a touchdown to make it 10-3, and the Bears have led since then. Thomas with a second field goal in the third quarter. That's been the story as Walter Payton gets to the 45-yard line, the pickup of a couple on the play. Reynolds and Ellison make the tackle.
Well, the Bears are doing what they had to do. As you see the clock, 4-8 and counting. Second down for them now, and about 8 yards to go in this drive. And they're doing an excellent job of controlling the ball. McMahon's keeping him in the huddle, taking him up to the line of scrimmage, keeping his eye on the 30-second clock and using that to his advantage. Calling the snap signal down as low to the 0 count on the 30-second clock as possible to milk a few extra seconds.
Second down, 7. There's that 30-second clock Wayne's talking about. And Matsui hemmed in, gets almost to midfield, where it'll be third and almost 4 yards and less than 3.5 minutes remaining. The lowest output by the 49ers this year was against the Rams, scoring-wise, when they were beaten 10-7 at Candlestick Park. Against the Jets, they had 13. In Miami, they scored 17, and 17 against Philadelphia. So this, right now, amounts to the lowest scoring output for the 49ers all year. 3 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Third down and 4 at midfield. And once again, they let that 30-second clock get down to the low single digits. Here's Matsui, and he'll be shy of a first down as Carlton Williamson. Penalty marker down. Williamson made the tackle, but there's a flag. It's against Chicago.
If I were the 49ers, I think I'd decline it and take fourth down.
They need the ball twice. Trailing by 10.
We have holding, number 63, offense, fourth down, decline.
Jay Hilgenberg, the center, holding on the play, so that it is indeed declined. It'll be fourth down, and the 49ers with 2:44 will get another chance. There's Bob Parsons to punt from the 35, and the rain continues. You can see it beyond Parsons.
And they try to draw him off here.
Good kick by Parsons. And McLemore at the 10. Brings it out to the 18-yard line. Tackled by Baschnagel. 49ers will go on offense first and 10. They're down by 10. They need the ball. They need to score at least twice more. Fourth quarter with 2:34 remaining, and the Bears lead the 49ers 13-3. With New Orleans leading Minnesota 17-13, the NFC Central Division could really tighten up. Minnesota loses, they'll be in a tie with the Lions, who beat the Steelers Thanksgiving. The Packers play Atlanta next. Most of you will see that game, and the Bears could move to within one game of first place Minnesota. So the NFC Central tightens up in the final week. First and 10 at the 19, and Roger Craig can't hold on to it. Otis Wilson was defending on the play. Ordinarily, you would think 2:29, Montana can move the ball downfield, but the weather, of course, presents another problem.
Well, it really has deteriorated here, especially in the second half. It's raining as hard as it has all day, and it's probably colder and windier than it's been, so it's very difficult for both of the quarterbacks to work downfield right now.
Second and 10. Montana finds Craig this time, who goes out of bounds to stop the clock. Brings it out to the 26-yard line. Mike Richardson was there. 2:23 showing. It'll be third down and about 4.
A gain of 6. 3rd and 4. Second 26.
Each club with a full complement of timeout. Third down and 4. 49ers have 2 downs to make the first down. They'll go for it if they don't make it here. Montana to Dwight Clark. They've got it. First down at the 32. Terry Schmidt defending on the play. Third catch of the day for Dwight Clark. Line up without a huddle. We're going to get the 2-minute warning coming up soon. 2:05. Montana swings it out to Roger Craig. And Craig may have a first down, and he does. At the 45-yard line, Mike Richardson defending, and now we will have our 2-minute warning. So with 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Bears leading the 49ers by 10, we have our 2-minute warning here at Soldier Field, and we'll be back. This was brought to you by the National Football League. Bill Walsh, seeing his 49ers trying to fight uphill. Bears defense has been the story today. First and 10 at the 45. Mike Hartenstein might have seen Fawnhorst move.
Well, start. 71.
It's on Fawnhorst, 5 yards. Tonight on CBS, you'll see 60 Minutes, followed by Memorial Day, and then Trapper John M.D. all tonight on CBS.
Ball start. 71.
Keith Fawnhorst on the false start, make it first and 15, and the ball's back at the 40 now, with no time ticking off the clock. Still 1:58. Here's Russ Francis. Montana up the middle. And Mike Richardson got a piece of the ball, and now they're going to call pass interference against the Bears. Mike Wilson was the intended receiver, and Richardson might have used his left hand.
Defensive pass interference. 27.
It'll be an automatic first down for the 49ers, and only 4 seconds tick off the clock.
And the Bears haven't slowed down a bit on their pass rush, Dick. Although they're not getting to Montana right now, they're getting good penetration, getting their hands up, and he has to throw in between cracks and through hands and arms.
Keep in mind, the 49ers need 2 scores. They're down by 10. First and 10 at the 48-yard line. Montana out to Bill Ring, and the Bears converge. And Ring picks up 5 yards on the play. Mike Singletary, Todd Bell in on the play. They called 2 plays in the huddle there. 2nd and 5. Mike Wilson at the 40 has a first down. Mike Richardson defending on the play. They blow it dead at the 40. And the clock continues to run. Niners have all of their timeouts remaining, but they've got to get the ball again, even if they do score here. Bill Ring goes in motion. Montana under pressure. Penalty flag down. And that was Otis Wilson and Dan Hampton, but it was Wilson who really threw Montana down, and we may have a holding penalty.
We have a hold on the offense.
And the Niners are claiming it should be a face mask.
Also, face mask on the defense. Decline, they'll replay the down.
They're going to replay the down, but they can't replay the time. Time lost.
Dan Hampton, number 99, with the initial pressure on Joe Montana that forced him out of the pocket right there. And Otis Wilson, 55 here. Kind of a clothesline shot right there. And that's definitely illegal, more than the face mask is.
That's the time remaining. First and 10. The 49ers at the Chicago 40. They have their timeouts remaining. And you know, if the 49ers score, they may be looking onside kick, but they're still 40 yards away. And Montana can't get away from number 76, Steve McMichael. And that's the 5th sack of the day for the Chicago Bears.
McMichael having a career game. He's to the right of Montana. A little bit of a loop right here, and here he comes.
And that's the 4th week in a row that McMichael has led the Bears in sacks. On 2nd and 16, Roger Craig is hit by Mike Richardson and out of bounds. Leslie Frazier also there. Stops the clock with 44 seconds remaining. It's 13-3. The Bears looking to go 6-7. If the 49ers lose this, it'll make them 7-6. Bears definitely in contention. They just announced New Orleans leading Minnesota. And, of course, the Rams will be playing the Buffalo Bills today with a chance to take over first place if the score ends as it is now. 3rd down and 5 at the 36. Montana under huge pressure, and the pass nearly intercepted by Mike Richardson. Blitzed on the play. Dave Duerson coming in from his safety position.
Safety blitz up the middle and came in untouched.
39 seconds remaining. Chicago Bears will probably want to book this kind of weather the rest of the year. The Bears are headed for their 3rd straight victory. Mike Ditka seeing his club develop more and more as we reach the latter stages of the season. 4th down and 5. Incomplete, intended for Clark, and the ball goes over to Chicago. Mike Richardson defending on the play, and that will tell it all today. That picture tells the story. Joe Montana having very little chance against the Chicago Bear defense, which is as good as you'll ever see.
It was like he was under siege today. The linemen got good penetration all day against the San Francisco offensive line. They mixed up a number of linebacker blitzes and safety blitzes and had them totally off balance.
So the San Francisco 49ers headed for their 4th loss in their last 5 games. And on top of that, their 3 points would be their lowest point total since 1977. First and 10 at the 36. Don't forget, still coming up, the Green Bay Packers against the Atlanta Falcons. Some of you will see the Giants against the Raiders in Los Angeles. The Niners still have timeouts to use, and apparently they're not going to use them. That should be it. The big offensive play in the second quarter, breaking a 3-3 tie. Jim McMahon, a 49-yard touchdown pass to rookie Dennis McKinnon. But the name of the game for the Bears today was defense. And the game is over here in Chicago. The Bears defeat the 49ers 13-3. And for Mike Ditka, his 3rd win in a row. The 49ers have lost 4 out of 5. And so things changing rapidly in the NFC Central and Western Division.
And things change rapidly with the Bears. As we talked at the top of this telecast, like a team of perhaps unrest at the start of the season, switching quarterbacks around, and once Mike Ditka got things settled down and went to Jim McMahon and his quarterback, it had a positive effect on the entire squad, and they performed like that today.
Not that the 49er defense didn't play well, but Bill Walsh said, if we come out with a crisp defensive effort and make things happen tomorrow, I know the team is on the beam.
Well,
the Bears
that would always be a carryover to the offense,
right.
But the Bears defense didn't let that happen.
So the final score, the Chicago Bears 13, the San Francisco 49ers 3. Coming up next, most of you will see the Green Bay Packers against the Atlanta Falcons. Some of you will see the Giants against the Los Angeles Raiders. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.